Don't trade your convictions for somebody's approval. There is a version of you that everybody around you is comfortable with. Agreeable, safe, and unoffensive. And that version of you will never change a single life because it was built for approval, not for impact. Tonight, let's talk about what it really costs you to stay true to who God made you. Galatians chapter 1 verse 10. For do I now persuade men or God, or do I seek to please men? For if I still please men, I would not be a bound servant of Christ. Paul draws a straight line. You cannot simultaneously be a people pleaser and a bond servant of Christ. They are mutually exclusive, because the bond servant's agenda is set by the master, not the crowd, and the crowd will always want something different from what the master requires. Jesus was the most socially disruptive person who ever lived. He called the Pharisees whitewashed tombs to their faces. He drove merchants out of the temple with a whip. He told a rich young ruler the exact thing the man did not want to hear, and watched him walk away without softening the message. He stood before Pilate, the most powerful man in the room, and refused to perform for his approval. Every time Jesus had the opportunity to trade his conviction for someone's comfort, he chose conviction. And it cost him everything in the natural and changed everything in the eternal. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who was executed by the Nazis just days before the end of the World War II, for refusing to compromise his convictions, wrote, "Silence in the face of evil is itself evil. God will not hold us guiltless. Not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act." He had every opportunity to stay safe, stay quiet, stay approved. He chose conviction over comfort, and his voice still shakes nations 80 years after his death. The man who lives for approval dies in obscurity. The man who lives for conviction lives in eternity. Approval is a drug. It feels good in the moment. It requires increasing doses to maintain the effect, and it will eventually demand that you sacrifice the very thing God put you on earth to protect. Your convictions, your calling, your voice. You were not created to be liked. You were created to be faithful, and faithfulness will always offend someone. Let it. Tonight, identify one area where you have been softening your convictions to maintain someone's approval. A relationship, a message you have been afraid to preach, a standard you have been lowering to fit in, a truth you have been avoiding because of how it will land. Name it. Then ask God for the courage to stand in it, not arrogantly, not harshly, but firmly, lovingly, and without apology. Comment below. What is the one conviction you are refusing to trade for approval? Declare it in this space, because public conviction creates public accountability. Share this with someone who has been shrinking their truth to fit someone else's comfort. Make this declaration with me. I live for the approval of God, not the applause of men. My convictions are not negotiable. My calling is not adjustable. My voice is not for sale. I speak what God says. I stand where God places me, and I refuse to trade eternal faithfulness for temporary approval. Let men be offended. Let the crowd think. I would rather stand alone in obedience than stand with thousands in compromise. Hallelujah.